In a previous video, I gave an overview of Valence 3D, a CAD program exclusive to iPad and iPhone, and compared some of its features to Shaper 3D. Now, I want to do a full comparison to help those who primarily model on an iPad. For context, I use these programs for furniture design and 3D printing, so my perspective isn't that of an engineer or a professional working with highly technical features. Let's get started. Both programs can be controlled using a keyboard, touchscreen, or Apple Pencil, and both support keyboard shortcuts. However, Shaper 3D allows you to customize these shortcuts, whereas Valence does not. Shaper's interface is clean, minimalistic, and features a dynamic toolbar that adapts to what you're doing. For example, when sketching, all 2D shape tools appear alongside the constraints menu, making the workflow intuitive and efficient. Valence, on the other hand, has a more cluttered look that could benefit from refinement. For instance, the rendering section could be a single expandable button rather than taking up unnecessary space. That said, Valence does have dynamic toolbars as well, adjusting based on your actions. Sketching is where the differences between these apps become more apparent. Shaper uses a more traditional sketch workflow. You start by creating a 2D shape on a designated plane, apply constraints as needed, and then extrude your sketch into a 3D model. Valence, however, takes a different approach. It doesn't have traditional sketch features. Instead, it offers primitives, basic 3D shapes like cubes and cylinders that are already made. You can adjust their dimensions directly without needing to sketch first. I see this in two ways. On one hand, using pre-made shapes removes a step every time you need a basic form. It also makes the software more accessible to beginners who may find traditional modeling workflows intimidating. On the other hand, it limits control for users who rely on constraints. Constraints allow you to adjust dimensions while maintaining relationships between different parts of your design, and they're typically applied during the sketching phase, not after a 3D model has been created. Whether this is a good or a bad thing depends on your needs. Personally, I think Valence could appeal to a broader audience by offering the option to use both approaches. Once you've sketched something, you'll likely want to move or transform it. In Shaper 3D, movement is intuitive and efficient. Double-click on an object and the move tools instantly appear. You can move it up, down, or side to side, and if you need to move it a specific distance, you can simply enter an exact value. By default, the movement point is centered on the body, but you can easily drag it to reference a corner or another point. Rotating is just as straightforward. Adjust the view slightly and you'll see rotation controls for all three axes. One particularly useful feature is the copy and duplicate function. After pressing copy, you can make as many duplicates as you want without needing to press the button again. In Valence, you move objects using the arrows on all three axes. If you want to move a mesh a specific distance, you'll double-click it, open the box inspector, and manually enter your desired dimension. You can also adjust the rotation from the same panel. While it works, it feels like too many steps. An alternative is selecting the mesh using the rotate tool, but this involves extra clicks. While Valence does support keyboard shortcuts to speed things up, the shortcuts are more complicated. In Shaper, you only need to remember one shortcut, which is M for movement. Whereas in Valence, you might need to juggle shortcuts like 1, 2, 3, 4 to select the right edge, face, then R for rotation or M for movement. Duplicating in Valence is also a bit more cumbersome. You have to select the mesh, press duplicate or Command D, and drag it out manually. Compared to Shaper's seamless copy function, it feels like unnecessary friction. In Shaper, there's a view control on the upper right corner. You can select various faces, edges, or corners quickly to switch between different perspectives. To reset your view, simply double-click. Additionally, Shaper 3D offers convenient keyboard shortcuts for navigation, like Command 1, 2, 3, making it easy to switch between views. Valence has a similar view control in the upper right corner, but it's more limited. You can select different axes for movement, but unlike Shaper's, you can't select edges or corners for specific perspectives. To reset the view, you can either hit the home button or hit Command R. I checked the Valence documentation, and the only shortcuts I could find is Command R and Command F. For me, this is a significant drawback since changing views is something I do constantly while modeling. What's surprising is that Valence has dedicated shortcuts for switching rendering modes, but none for camera views. Maybe it's just my workflow, but I rarely change rendering modes, usually only at the beginning or at the end of a project. Having better view navigation shortcuts would make a noticeable difference. The Shaper sidebar is found on the left hand of the screen. You can filter by sketches, bodies, planes, axes, or images, making it easy to manage your workspace. It allows you to group bodies into folders and rename them for better organization. On the opposite side of the screen, there's a history panel. This acts like a timeline where you can select a step and adjust its parameters. In my experience, it works quite well for making changes and reviewing progress. In Valence, it doesn't have a history panel, so there's no way to view or adjust past actions in a timeline-like format. The sidebar functions similarly to Shapers, but it automatically groups objects for you. While this may simplify things for some users, there's no option to create folders or customize the organization to suit your preferences. Shaper offers a dedicated area for visualization. By clicking in the upper right corner, you get access to several options. Starting with the Material tab, you can select a material, choose a color, and fine-tune it to your liking. Applying it is as simple as dragging the material onto the desired body. In the Environment tab, you can adjust the lighting, and under the Camera tab, you can tweak the field of view and other settings. A standout feature in Shaper is the ability to create drawings. You can select which bodies to include, add dimensions, and generate detailed technical drawings, a feature that could be a deal breaker for some users. In Valence, adjusting the materials is a bit more cumbersome. Double-click a mesh to bring up the inspector panel, where you can select a color at the bottom. The available options change depending on the rendering mode you've selected. Another drawback is that in Valence, you have to adjust the material settings for each mesh individually. There's no simple copy-paste options for materials, which would be a helpful addition. To export in Shaper, simply press Share. From there, you can either generate a link to share your model for viewing or switch to the Export tab, where you'll find options to export in 17 different file types. I also like that Shaper groups them based on your usage. In Valence, you just hit Export on the bottom left and choose from 9 available file types. Valence is a relatively new application, so there isn't much direct support or an established community. If you run into issues, you're largely reliant on the developer. To their credit, they're very active in the communities I've seen. I even requested an alignment feature and they added it in less than a month. However, if the app grows in popularity, it might become difficult for the developer to maintain that same level of responsiveness. I wonder if the developer eventually plans to make this program open source. On the other hand, Shaper has a dedicated forum where users can ask questions. This has been helpful when troubleshooting, as forum posts often show up as one of the first results when searching for solutions. However, my own experience with the forum wasn't great. I posted a question, but it was immediately flagged for review by a staff member. It took 6 days for my comment to be approved and made visible, by which it was already outdated and had no views. That delay in response definitely left something to be desired. Now here's the redemption arc. For most people, cost is going to be the biggest factor. Valence offers a simple, one-time purchase for $39.99, making it an affordable choice. Shaper, on the other hand, uses a subscription model with both monthly and yearly plans. However, if you're a student, you can apply for the education license that provides free access. Just keep in mind that you'll need to renew it annually. To me, Shaper seems geared towards users who primarily work on an iPad, but have prior experience with professional desktop apps like Fusion 360. While the app offers fantastic iPad modeling experience and seamless desktop syncing, its pricing feels a little steep for hobbyists. I'd love to see a more affordable license option for casual users. For example, maybe drop the collaborative features or set a limit to active projects. Valence, on the other hand, reminds me of my first experience with SketchUp. It's incredibly beginner-friendly, especially with its use of primitives and the intuitive way shapes are manipulated. For experienced users, this simplified approach may feel limiting or counterintuitive. However, it's important to remember how intimidating constraints can be for newcomers. The one-time purchase model in Valence makes sense. You're not paying to maintain a cloud service or fund a large development team. What you see is what you get. I think if the developer focuses on refining the current interface and features rather than constantly adding new ones, Valence has the potential to become a real powerhouse. Personally, I plan to keep using both apps, and I'm excited to see how Valence evolves. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.